that glorifies immediacy. The veneer of financial freedom is enticing yet perilous. Behind the seductive promise of buy now, pay later lies a haunting reality. Young adults, driven by dreams and desires, find themselves ensnared in a web of debt. With each purchase, the fleeting thrill masks an impending burden, a silent crisis that creeps into their lives. This is not just a momentary lapse in judgment, but a generational struggle, echoing the weight of past economic uncertainties. As debts accumulate, so too does anxiety, transforming aspirations into shackles. The call of consumerism reverberates through their lives, ensnaring them in a cycle that threatens to define their very existence. In a world increasingly defined by immediacy, a new generation finds itself ensnared in the seductive embrace of buy now, pay later schemes. What began as a promise of freedom and convenience has morphed into a profound entrapment, echoing the historical cycles of debt and desperation. Each transaction, once viewed as a door to opportunity, now weighs heavy on the shoulders of young consumers who navigate a landscape of financial illusion. As the ease of access lures them into the depths of obligation, the realization dawns that the chains of debt can be just as stifling as any past burden. The bright allure of a new pair of shoes or the latest gadget conceals a darker truth. The cost of living in the moment can often lead to a lifetime of regret. The narrative of progress is intertwined with the struggle for financial literacy, revealing the harsh reality that what seems like a simple choice may lead to an overwhelming crisis. In the landscape of modern consumerism, the allure of instant gratification has woven a deceptive tapestry, ensnaring an entire generation in its intricate threads. Gen Z, raised in an era defined by digital immediacy, finds themselves at the crossroads of desire and consequence, lured by the bright, shiny promise of buy now, pay later. This mechanism, masquerading as a solution to financial fluidity, quietly seeds the roots of an insidious debt crisis. As each transaction echoes with the weight of unseen chains, the emotional burden intensifies, leaving dreams overshadowed by anxiety. The thrill of the purchase, once a fleeting joy, morphs into a lingering shadow, transforming the promise of prosperity into a perilous path of financial instability. The struggle is not just monetary. It is a profound battle for autonomy and self-worth in a world that equates value with consumption. In a world captivated by immediacy, the promise of instant gratification has woven a deceptive tapestry. Each purchase, a small victory, whispers sweet assurances of control and freedom. Yet beneath the surface, a darker reality emerges. A thrill of acquiring goods without immediate payment lures the unsuspecting into a labyrinth of obligations, where every choice echoes with the weight of future debts. This phenomenon, cloaked in convenience, ensnares the hearts and minds of a generation already grappling with the shadows of economic uncertainty. The allure of buy now, pay later is not just a financial strategy. It is a seductive trap, echoing the burdens of those who came before, and casting a long shadow over the future of a generation still learning to navigate the complexities of fiscal responsibility. In a world where instant gratification reigns supreme, the allure of buy now, pay later schemes seduces the young and ambitious. With a simple click, dreams of lavish lifestyles and coveted possessions materialize. Yet beneath this shimmering facade lies a darker truth. A cycle of deferred payments, masked as financial freedom, tightens its grip, ensnaring a generation in a web of financial obligations. As they navigate the delicate balance of desire and responsibility, the weight of unfulfilled promises grows heavier. This is not merely an issue of budgetary missteps. It is a profound reckoning with self-worth, identity, and the relentless pursuit of validation in an age defined by consumerism. The very fabric of hope is woven into the threads of debt, raising an urgent question: at what cost does the dream of ownership come? In a world where instant gratification reigns supreme, the allure of buy now, pay later schemes casts a long shadow over the aspirations of a generation. With each purchase made, the chains of debt tighten, veiling the true cost of a seemingly carefree lifestyle. Young lives, filled with hope and ambition, become entwined in a web of financial obligation that is often invisible until it's too late. This moment encapsulates a profound truth. Beneath the surface of convenience lies an insidious trap, ensnaring those who dared to dream of a brighter future. As the weight of unpaid bills begins to manifest, the joyous facade crumbles, revealing a stark reality that echoes throughout history. The cycles of debt that have repeatedly claimed the youth's promise. In this crucible of choices, the question emerges: how long can dreams endure when shackled by the burden of repayment? In a world increasingly defined by the immediacy of desire, Gen Z finds themselves at the crossroads of aspiration and responsibility. With each click and swipe, they embrace a seductive promise, a life unburdened by the constraints of traditional finance. Yet, beneath the surface of convenience lies a palpable tension, a silent storm of accumulating obligations that threatens to drown their future in a sea of debt. The allure of instant gratification obscures the looming reality of repayment, where each purchase becomes a chain that binds rather than liberates. As they navigate this treacherous landscape, the weight of tomorrow hangs heavy, echoing with the stories of those who came before them, whispers of past generations caught in similar traps, reminding them that freedom can often come at a cost far greater than anticipated. As the sun sets on a generation caught in the clutches of modern consumerism, the haunting whispers of debt echo through their lives. Each purchase, a fleeting moment of joy, masks an impending reckoning. The allure of instant gratification binds them to a cycle of financial insecurity, where the promise of tomorrow dims under the shadow of relentless repayments. In a landscape where dreams are monetized and desires are financed, the weight of unpaid obligations crushes aspirations. They are left to grapple with the paradox of choice and consequence, unraveling the fabric of their future with every click and swipe. This is not merely a story of transactions. It is a solemn reflection on the cost of immediacy in an era where the pursuit of happiness hinges precariously on borrowed time. In a world steeped in immediacy, the allure of buy now, pay later schemes casts a shadow over the financial futures of an entire generation. This seductive promise of instant gratification belies a deeper, insidious truth. As Gen Z steps into adulthood, they find themselves ensnared in a web of rising debts, each purchase a thread tightening around their aspirations. The weight of expectations presses down, with dreams rendered fragile against the harsh reality of financial instability. In moments of reflection, the question arises: at what cost does convenience come? The invisible chains of obligation bind them, leaving a haunting echo of financial freedom that remains perpetually out of reach. As the sun sets on the horizon, shadows grow long and heavy, mirroring the burdens of a generation caught in the relentless cycle of consumption and debt. The allure of instant gratification has woven itself into the fabric of everyday life, creating a mirage of ease that conceals a profound truth. Each purchase made today will echo in the future, with consequences yet to be faced. Young voices, filled with hope and ambition, resonate with a dissonance as they grapple with the unyielding grip of financial obligation that threatens to define their very existence. This moment is a crossroads, an awakening to the reality that the choices made in fleeting moments can shape destinies. With every click and swipe, the promise of freedom becomes a chain, binding dreams with doubt as the weight of tomorrow presses down upon youthful shoulders, urging a reckoning with the cost of modern desires. In a world captivated by immediacy, the allure of instant gratification has wrapped itself around the hearts of a generation. Buy now, pay later schemes promise a life unburdened by the weight of waiting. Yet beneath this seductive facade lies a labyrinth of uncertainty. With each click, a new debt is born, unraveling the fragile threads of financial independence. For many in Gen Z, what began as a seemingly harmless way to navigate the complexities of modern spending spirals into a cycle of obligations that stifles dreams and constrains futures. The vibrant aspirations of youth are now shadowed by the relentless ticking of repayment deadlines, transforming hope into anxiety. As this narrative unfolds, the echoes of past financial crises warn us. When convenience becomes a trap, freedom is but an illusion. In the shadow of towering debts, the dreams of a generation are slowly suffocating. What was once a pathway to convenience has become an inescapable trap. As young hearts chase aspirations, the promise of instant gratification lures them into a web of financial uncertainty. Each purchase, seemingly harmless, stitches a thread in a tapestry of anxiety and despair. A weight of unmade decisions looms large, echoing in the silence of sleepless nights. This is not merely a crisis of finance, but a battle for identity and hope. The future they envisioned, vibrant and full of promise, begins to fade into a blur of obligations and regrets, as Gen Z grapples with the haunting realization that the cost of their freedom may be a lifetime of servitude to unseen chains. In a world where instant gratification reigns supreme, the allure of buy now, pay later schemes has ensnared a generation caught between dreams and debts. They enter a marketplace glittering with promises, seduced by the idea of freedom from immediate payment, unaware of the invisible chains binding them. As the weight of unpaid balances accumulates, a stark reality emerges. Each purchase comes with a hidden cost, a toll on their future aspirations. The seductive ease of financing has morphed into a relentless cycle of obligation, perpetuating a new form of bondage that echoes the struggles of past generations. The vibrant hopes of youth are now entangled in the suffocating grip of financial anxiety, a testament to the perilous dance with debt that threatens to define their lives. In this moment, the truth reverberates. Convenience often conceals a darker narrative, one that demands reflection and courage to break free. As the sun sets on a generation, shadows loom over the dreams of countless young souls ensnared in the buy now, pay later trap. Promises of instant gratification whisper sweet nothings, yet the weight of unending debt crushes aspirations beneath its relentless grip. Each purchase, a fleeting moment of joy, becomes a somber reminder of choices made in desperation and hope. This financial illusion, a siren song, draws the unsuspecting deeper into a labyrinth of obligations. The echoes of their struggles resonate, a haunting testament to the price of convenience. In a world where freedom once felt attainable, the chains of debt now bind them, reshaping their futures and rewriting their destinies. The struggle for financial liberation is not just a personal battle. It is a collective cry for change, a yearning for a life unshackled from the burdens of a system that preys on vulnerability. In this quiet moment, amidst the chaos of consumer culture, a pivotal question lingers. What cost are we truly willing to pay for our desires? In the echoing silence of late-night transactions and the glow of screens, young voices tremble under the weight of hopes tethered to escalating debts. Each click reverberates like a heartbeat, a promise of freedom that transforms into shackles. Dreams crafted in the luminous convenience of buy now, pay later schemes begin to unravel, revealing a haunting truth. The illusion of ease can mask a descent into despair. As the stories of countless individuals unfold, we witness potential futures dimming, aspirations colliding with the harsh reality of obligation. This is not just a financial crisis. It is a generational reckoning. Who will rise from the ashes of this consumerist frenzy? The answer lies in the courage to reclaim agency from the grip of incessant desire. In the shadows of a generation's dreams, where aspirations once soared, a silent predator lurks, masked as convenience. The allure of instant gratification, wrapped in the seductive promise of buy now, pay later, ensnares the hearts and minds of young dreamers. They are drawn into a vortex, believing they are merely borrowing time, unaware that each swipe for new sneakers or trendy gadgets tightens the chains of an unseen burden. As the weight of obligations grows heavier, the laughter fades, replaced by a haunting realization that freedom comes at a price far steeper than expected. In this moment of reckoning, we are left to ponder, is the pursuit of joy worth the shackles of debt? The echoes of choices made resonate, as the future hangs in delicate balance, a generation grappling with the haunting question of what it truly means to be free.